Okay, we start, yeah. There's many different reasons. If you practice compassion and best purifications, best to make accumulation merit, and the compassion is the heart core of the Buddha's teachings. Therefore, he says, since there is no practice like compassion to purify us of all our harmful past actions, of course, we did many negative actions, harmful, particularly like disturb to other sentient beings. And this kind of karmic debts we come to repay back by the compassion. It's easy, quickly, fast. Since it is a compassion that never failed to make us develop the extraordinary Bodhicitta. And like a kind of using different methods and never lost our kind of compassion in order to develop the extraordinary compassion, like the meaning of the Bodhicitta, which is here is the explanation of the word of my perfect teacher. Read again, to study again, the really meaning of the compassion. Do I have compassion or not? It's not like kind of the mysterious. It is not kind of the indirected. Bodhicitta is like kind of thoughts. Compassion is thoughts. Then we, time to time, we can to check, do I have compassion or not? We should to use different methods in order to have the extraordinary bodhicitta or the compassion. We should preserve it in meditation upon it, like again. This is the most like kind of the methods. How do you say, the best meditation, best like kind of the our spiritual path, and the best like kind of the beneficial. And in the Buddha's teaching saying everything is like depends on our minds, and positive and negative, and also it's like in this perspective, and the mind of the compassions, and whatever appear in the outside manifested, everything is positive, everything is good, peace, harmony, pure land, we can do so. The imagine given for the like kind of the meditating on compassion, it is that of the mother with no arms. This is the kind of the example. Maybe there is one lady without two arms. Maybe she has also a child. Who has a child is the being swept away by a river. Maybe she has one daughter and child. The child swept away by the river. How like kind of the unbearable anguish, like sufferings of the such a mother, like kind of the would be, how it is the mother's would be too. Her love for her children is the so intense, like in dance or the tense. Day and night she is concerning her child. Maybe sometimes you should look into in the YouTubes. There are many. For example, some child is very ugly, sickness. For example, other sentient being, other people's look at the child, it's like kind of the really warming up and scaring. But for the child mothers, say my child, all the times to keep close to the body, kids, and to taking care. Like this, mothers' love is really intense to the children. But as she cannot use her arms, she cannot catch hold of him because it's like her child is carried away. What can I do now? She's to say, what can I do? What can I do? She asked herself, I haven't got two arms. My child is like kind of swept away by the river, and she's unbearable sufferings. Her only thought is to find some, like the means, like different methods, saving her child. Her heart breaking. It is not her like kind of the sufferings, and she concerning her son or the child, and she's like kind of the according the sufferings. Her mind is the breaking. Like way of this thinking, we need to concerning all the sentient beings. Like sometimes to thinking about the suffering sentient beings in the six realms, it's really kind of the heart is breaking. Like same as this mother without arms. She ran along after him, weeping, crying, shouting. In exactly the same ways, this is the example, all beings of the three realms, form realms, form like a desire realm, form realms, formless realms, whatever dwell in this, in the world, in the space, sentient beings are the being carried away by the river of the suffering, like samsaric sufferings, to down in the ocean of the samsara. Like samsara, it is the samsara of the hell, hunger, ghost, animal, human, demigod, like God realms. This insight, like wherever they go, there's not much happiness. However, unbearable the compassion we feel really is like to concerning, thinking about the suffering sentient beings, almost that is breaking your mind. This is like kind of the compassions become the like same as your body, part of yourself. Then it's really you don't need to proclaim I am Bodhisattva, I'm Dharma practitioner. You are already like a Buddha Bodhisattvas. We have no means of the saving them from their sufferings. Absolutely. At the moment, even the ourselves we cannot to save, we cannot help. How we can to help others? Therefore, first to get the like kind of the power, strength, education, to develop the compassion in order to save those really the sentient beings. First is like really to practice dharmas. Meditate on this, thinking about can I do now? Can I do now? Really, and call on your teacher and the three jewels from the very deeply in your heart to say, may I get quickly power, strength, and to have kind of the power in order to help to the sentient beings. And day and night to say the think of three jewels, me. Think of me, three jewels. Think of me, root teacher. And give me like kind of power realization in order to save samsaric sentient beings from the day's sufferings. This kind of development, the compassion's absolutely very, very important. And that is like the third boundaryless qualities of the compassion. And we are quite very fast, quickly. I mean, it's like for me, it's a little bit for fast, quickly. But for you, it's maybe not. And that's why I'm saying this. Maybe I want to more to study, more to read again. And this read is listened maybe 100 times. It's like more, so very, very happy. And this kind of give me confidence, more happy for follow the Buddha's teachings. I'm very kind of the like pleased, like this kind of the pith instructions given by the Buddha, and explained by the like kind of the spiritual friend, particularly here the first Patrul Rinpoche. And it is the wonderful. I'm often to say that I believe only the compassion, kindness, nothing believes. It is like why I believe, why I follow the Buddha and Buddha's teachings, because of the compassion, because of the kindness. If there is like kind of this kind of no explanation in the Buddha's teachings, only philosophy, only kind of the something is like a noble, or like kind of the like to study things, maybe it's like same as the computers, like kind of the education or scientific education, these things, no interest, no faith, no kind of devotion, and just to study fun, like kind of no, like kind of the confidence, and like this. But it's like when you are reading this kind of, really it's like a more love or more devotion to the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas. Really is like the more want to close to the Dharma practitioners. And when you call that as the Dharma practitioners, sometimes awful, very much. It's the same as here Patrul Rinpoche described. Someone says it's like Dharma practitioners, but very aggressive, very arrogant, very much critical person. And that perspective is like, we don't know it, but generally speaking, if someone says like, I am a Dharma practitioner, very happy, like a more trust, more kind of the faith, devotion, want to be more close, more kind of the rely on. Or we say, oh, maybe it's okay, this person is the practitioner of the Buddha Dharma. It's wonderful. Why? If this person to study practice Dharma, surely this person has compassion, kindness. But of course, that is like, as say the Patrul Rinpoche, say is like a hypocritical way. Someone just to say, I'm a great Lama, reincarnation, Kempo teachers. But reality is a very much sensitive, very much arrogant, a little bit, some is like a disturb other sentient beings, even they need to kill, rejecting, and to contempt, they can do it what they, and this perspective, then it's like kind of the lost. But of course, we don't need to lose to the Buddha's teaching, but we lost these teachings. And for example, sometime in our Westerns, some Dharma practitioners, called the Lamas, reincarnation, some teachers, they doing something horrible things. There is such a different ugly scandals and going around it. Then many new kind of the generations Buddhist people, their mind is like completely destroyed. Because people's things, people like kind of the human beings, like kind of, if you say the Dharma practitioners, then they think Dharma is the Dharma practitioners. That is the not. The person is not Dharma. Dharma is not person. We need to have distinctions. Then sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to practice Dharma. Why? Because this person, that person doing. That is the very stupid. Because Buddha's teaching is not person, is the teaching itself. It is the great, like kind of the give educations. What is in the Dharma said in the teaching is described as saying things. We need to more study, more analyze. 100% it is the such benefit. If you only follow the people's behaviors, characteristics, then is you lose. You are not really practitioner of the Dharma. Therefore, sometimes mixed. They think Dharma is a person's behaviors, characteristics. Person's behavior characteristics is Dharma. Then sometimes we lose devotion, faith, interest. Then say, I don't want to become Buddhist. I don't want to practice Dharma. Why? Because this person is doing like this. This person is awful. So that is the very stupid. And like this, of course, there is a called Dharma practice. Even here's the Patrul Rinpoche says, lamas, monks, They are wearing the monk cloth, called the lamas. They have the titles like called the reincarnations. They have a title of the kambos, geshis. But realities, they are not acting according to the Buddha's teachings. This is this person's characteristics, this person's behaviors. Maybe here Patrul Rinpoche said, this person is immediately die, they immediately go to the hell. And like this, then why we need to they follow up like this? But the person's not Dharma. Dharma is not person. They need to separate like this. But if you, generally speaking, of course, when we are said someone called Dharma practitioners, I am like more trust. Oh yeah, it's maybe it's person's practice Dharma. At least a little bit compassion, kindness, maybe not doing the such kind of bad things. Surely, maybe lesser jealousy, maybe lesser aggression, lesser disattachment, lesser kind of these things. And more is like forgiveness, and more like kind of the how do you say, concerning others. And then it's like more happy. But you also externally you call the Dharma practitioners, inside is like the worst ordinary like kind of the householders. Then it's like this kind of happen. That take care. And if we want to become the great Dharma practitioners, we need to generate bodhicitta. Without bodhicitta, why we need to follow the Dharma? Why we need to practice these things? And it's like kind of temporarily kind of doing things. For example, in this world, there is many kind of the yoga, exercise, technologies, many things. Is temporarily you make yourself become calm, healthy, beautiful, excited things. But ultimately, it's nothing. Then certainly you have big problems in your mind. Almost there's no educations. But Dharma is not like this. Buddha's teachings, if you really bring into your heart, if you mixed Dharma with your mind, you have like kind of the happy situation, suffering situations, all the times it can help to you very much. This is like kind of happening by the Buddhas. Okay, now we can to move next one. Next, like the boundless qualities of the sympathetic joys, the fourth meditation on sympathetic like choice. This is more like kind of the antidote for the jealousy, rivalry, and so on. These things. This is like kind of course, the part of the compassion, antidote for the disturbing emotion, specifically jealousies and the rivalry and competitions. And if we have such jealousy and competition and also it's like rivalries, then it's difficult to develop the compassion. Inner like kind of the experiences doesn't increase. And therefore we need to meditate on it. Sympathetic choice. Imagine someone of the noble birth, strong, prosperous, and powerful. Someone who lives in the higher elements, experiencing comfort, happiness, and a long life. This sort of, we cannot to have jealousy. We say it's like someone is a noble birth. I'm not. It's noble birth. Who is? Oh, this person is very strong, but I'm weak. I'm angry. This disturbed to me. I want to become more strong. Someone has a lot of the prosperous, healthy, rich. It's like this. And lucky, but I'm not. I have like a lot of. Maybe this person is disappeared. Maybe I will get. And like kind of powerful persons, we want to destroy it. I want to become the powerful persons. Someone is who live in the higher elements, experience the comfortable, really is like this. But I am not. And like, for example, look some in Brussels, some street. It's like maybe expensive, very like kind of big cars you put in the street. Many people has jealousies. They immediately break the window and crack, and they do it because of their like kind of the jealousy competitions. Or I haven't got, they have. Okay, we need to make problems. This kind of. But if you're really compassionate, they never ever do like this. If someone has comfortable experience, very happy, they have rejoicing, sympathetic, long life, is surrounded by the many attendant in the great wealth without any feeling of the jealousies. That is like kind of the boundless qualities. Antidote of the rejoice is the jealousies or the rivalry. Make the wish very strong, compassionate way that might become even more glorious, become more noble rebirth, become more strong, become more prosperous and more powerful, more like kind of the rebirth, higher animals experience comfortable happiness, to become more long life. Like this kind of we have the feeling that is the sympathetic, and also is like kind of rejoicing. Still more of the prosperity of the higher animals. Be free of the all dangers. Be free of the all dangers. Be free of the all dangers. And develop the ever more intelligent and other perfect talent, wisdom, any kind of to become the more and the better, bigger, more powerful than the myself. Like this kind of wish, praise. Then tell yourself again and again how wonderful it would be if all other beings could live at such a level, to this kind of level, higher elements of the rebirth, and experience comfortable happiness, be long life, noble birth, strong, prosper, powerful, this kind of more and like kind of the levels go up, how much I'm happy, rejoice. Begin your meditate by the thinking about a person who easily arousing positive feelings. Maybe your parents, maybe your children, maybe your friend, who is you love. This person you need to bring. Like a relative, a close friend, someone you love, who is the successful and contented at the peace. If some closest, maybe it's like normally with the sympathetic joys. Focus is sentient beings who have both happiness and the cause of the happiness. And the form of love is text in the mind is wish that they never ever be without like kind of the happiness or comfortable. And therefore, if like maybe you're some closest, you love ones, maybe successful, then there's no jealousy, it's like kind of more become the successfuls. Like this a person is like contented, very much sufficient by clothes, food, shelter, any perspective. Then you have no jealous, you have more like kind of happy feelings, rejoicing, wow, more content, at the peace, and the feeling happy that he is so. This is so. When you have established that feeling of happiness, try to cultivate the same feeling towards those about who you feel indifferent. Maybe it is like different persons. Maybe you don't know. Maybe it's like a little bit normal, you hesitated. And this kind of persons, you meditate on it. And if they become very much comfortable, and may be successful. How is it that your mind is concerning these persons, these beings? Then is focus on all kind of animals who have harmed you, like kind of the disturb you, criticize, like kind of the beating, smoker, snot to you. And that time is which kind of your mind is to do towards these persons. No jealous, no more have you compassion, then you are really compassionate. Especially anybody of the whom you feel jealousy. Like jealousy is made between the beauty, between the handsome, between the power, success. This kind of, there's no jealous, wonderful. Again and again check jealous. Jealous is making the problems the families. Jealousy is making the problems the partners. Jealousy is all the times not good. If someone has such jealous, they all the time separate family, friend, any kind of. Lot of problems can occur. Therefore, is jealous is not very good disturbing emotions. Uproot the evil mentality that find it is the unbearable that someone else should have such a perfect plenty, like a kind of the someone's extraordinary happy, good, this, then you have really is jealousy or not, and cultivate at the particularly feeling of the delight for each kind of the happiness that they might enjoy. And it's like this, you see the extraordinary, like kind of the happy person, successful person beings. And there's absolutely no jealousy. And also still you have the feeling delight. It's like kind of happiness. And also it's like such enjoyment. And to say it's like kind of, oh, wonderful. Like consoled by the resting in the state without any conceptualizations, like this kind of ideas to think this. The meaning of the sympathetic joy is have a mind free of the jealousy. That is the most crucial important. And when we practice the boundless qualities of the joy, that means there is jealousy. When jealousy is occurring into our mind, that moment we need this antidote of the sympathetic joy, measurement of the boundless qualities of the this sympathetic, or measurement of the sympathetic. You should therefore try to train your mind with all sort of the methods you can use. When you have jealous, you need to do different methods, particularly the compassion of the sympathetic, and to different use the methods in order to destroy the jealousies, to prevent those harmful jealousy. Thoughts from the arise, immediately apply the sympathetic joys in order to destroy your jealousy. And specifically a Bodhisattva who has given rise to Buddha, Bodhicitta, to the benefit of all beings, should be try to establish all those beings in the everlasting happiness of the Buddhahood. Absolutely. When you follow the footstep of the Bodhisattvas, you are imitating the Bodhisattvas, you want to become Bodhisattvas, then you need to have this kind of wish or like kind of ideas. I should try to establish those all suffering sentient beings to bring to the for everlasting happiness of the Buddhahood, and like temporarily in the happiness of the realm of the God and the man. Ultimately happiness, it is like kind of the Buddhahood, and the temporarily, and the happiness is the like kind of the humans, and in the God realms, and like this kind of. So how could such a bodhisattva ever be the displeased? Instead, when someone beings, though the force of their own past actions, possess some distinctions or the wealth, and then it's like kind of bodhisattvas. It's like how we can to make the displeased the bodhisattvas. If we have like kind of the jealousy, and when we have the kind of the rivalry to the sentient beings, and then it's like how we can to make pleased to them, because it's like a kind of the if you are follow the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas, why you don't happy, and why you are not displeased? If someone's happy, someone's extraordinary, and this is not kind of the Bodhisattva's way. And those like kind of the sentient beings has such sufferings, this is past action, and like kind of the possess someone's distinctions, the wealth. They are kind of the problems like this. Okay, like this. And then is once the people have been corrupted by the jealousy, and like kind of the, if like kind of the big corruptions occurring by the jealousy. No, jealousies can corrupted your mind. Jealousy is making the corruption of the your externally your position, and kindness, and also prosperity, successfuls. If you have more jealousy, you have more problems can curse. Absolutely, there's no doubt. Therefore, since people have been corrupted by the jealousy, they no longer see the good in others. This is like kind of, when is someone, if you look at some families all the time is perceived others are the bad. Others are doing, others are talking, others are wearing clothes, others way of the talk. All the times not good, not good. That is who's good. I am good. This kind of jealousy is never to see the others' qualities. Never, ever. Never to see the other good qualities, others. And their own negative actions increase. Like kind of the eliminately, when the glory and activity of the Dzogchen Malaripa were speeding up. Like, there's just Mala's history, but it's like jealousy is corrupted, then there's awful kind of the happiness. You can't see the other people's beings like it's like you can't see the others' qualities, and also you just cannot to see your own like kind of defects, and only you think I am good, others are bad, and this kind of all the times coming, that is the corruptions. Then there is the Jetsen Rinpoche, it's like his story. When the glory and activity of the Jetsen Rinpoche, of course, this great Tibetan yogi, Jetsen Rinpoche, were spreading his activities. A certain like kind of the person, professor of the logical names, like kind of the telose, talose. Talo is maybe is in Tibet. Maybe we can to see change. T is the D. Maybe not talo, maybe talos. Coffee is so delicious. This Geshe Talo had become very much jealous the Jetsen Mallar's glorious activities, started to attack him in the speed of the every example of the clairvoyance and miraculous power that the Jetsen showed him. Talo had no faith in himself. He has so much jealousy, and Jetsen Malaripa, he shows the realizations of the clairvoyant, miraculous power, but never have like kind of the faith, devotion. Same as the Devadatta, Buddha's cousin, in the Buddha's cousin brother, has such jealous to the Buddha, and Buddha cannot do nothing. He died, reborn in the garden and Pritas. Like this, jealous corruption is like this. And only like then kind of reacted with the wrong views to the Jetsen Mallar, criticized to the Jetsen Mallar. He was later reborn in the great demon, like this kind of. This is big corruptions. It is not like when you have jealous to the others, it's corrupted yourself. If you make a problem yourself, then you need to jealous. There are many other examples of the what can happen under the power of the jealousies. A lot. Like jealousy persons really is lose their life. Jealousy persons is doing some awful things. They can kill the families. They can destroy the friend. It's a lot. And in the sometimes like family situations. For example, I want to say, I met one couple, and this husband is inconceivable angry with like his wife. And I said, why you angry so much? Because it's like I love her, I take care of her, but she has so much jealousy and curiosities. Now I like kind of more and more understand. 100% I want to sometimes really want to kill to her. No, this is because it's too much jealousy. And then this lady also, of course, there is jealousy, such jealousy, and then it's completely corruptions. Completely she lost husband, families, but then it's very difficult to control the jealousy. Really, like kind of the one is like, example, I made one like couples. Like husband is one, the wife is never kind of the jealous. All the time she go out or he coming back, it's okay, whatever you want. And later like kind of this husband says, how it is like I'm kind of repayment of the kindness for my wife. Why? She's never have jealousy, and whatever we do, she done for me is the extraordinary. Now more and more I'm become old, I want to become more kind with her. I want to give everything. I don't want to separate. I want. Then it's like without jealousy, you are like naturally to development, your happiness. If you have jealousy, 100%. It doesn't matter you are Lama or reincarnation or you are Dharma practitioner. or generally speaking, any kind of person has jealousy, there is the corruptions. Externally corruptions, you lose a position, you lose your property, you lose your all the friend, you lose everything. Your inner corruptions is like realization, disturbing emotion of the most like kind of the creator is the jealousy. And jealousies create disturbing emotion. Inner realization, faith, devotion is slowly fade away. Therefore, jealousies, corruption is extraordinarily awful. Like how the logical Geshe, like Tsapava said, this Geshe Tsapava is like he gave poison to the Jetsen Malaripa. Try to poison Jetsen Malaripa. Even if the Buddha himself were present in the person, we would be nothing he would do. Guide and the jealous person said, absolutely. Even the like kind of his cousin brother, like kind of Devadut, how much he give explanation, he practice patience. All the time is jealous. Buddha is like not corrupted by the jealousy. More and more is like famous, glorious activities. People more respect and naturally become. Then Devadatta has more jealousy. I am more strong. I want to become better than the Buddhas. Then corrupted. Finally he dies an awful way. This is the really realities. And that therefore we should to practice sympathetic joy and destroy our jealousies. Very, very important. Our mind, like I want to say that this Geshe Tsapava, how he make the jealousies. For example, there is one great kind of the rich peoples. They invited Jetsen Malaripa and both Geshes like Geshe Tsapava. Geshe Tsapava is that time so very famous, like Geshe logical teacher. And then it's like, of course, Jetsen Malaripa is in the top of this place or the head. And the Geshe Tsapava, he wants to be there. But of course, these rich more have faith, devotion to the Jetsen Malaripa. And then everybody respects Jetsen Malaripa, but he has such jealousy. And he's angry. Then he wants to kill to the Jetsen Malaripa. He thought maybe in these areas, if Jetsen Malaripa die, then maybe I will become the very famous. He's according these jealousies, he won't try to give poison to the Jetsen Malaripa. And secretly he has a girlfriend, and he's ordered to the lady, say, I made like a very nice like a poison, but put in the yogurt. Could you give to the Jetsen Malaripa? He liked yogurt. And then is this lady brought to Malaripa, and then he said, I'm not want to die right now, but he said, no, I don't want, thank you. And she was very much afraid. Bring back. Jetsen, she doesn't want, but he looks like Jetsen Malaripa. He understood that. And then it's like she was very much afraid, and she says, Geshe Tsapava, you doing maybe such bad things. Maybe we come out. Jetsen Malaripa has like kind of supernatural power, like kind of the clairvoyance. He understood. Geshe said, no, he's not this kind of realization. Don't worry. Maybe I will give you one big turqua, and you can give offering this, and then say this is very nice, I can give you Janab. Then he ignored, he loved things. And then she again sent it, and she brought, and she offered this big turqua, and then she offered to this like kind of food. And then Jetsen Malaripa said, okay, that doesn't matter. And this turqua I give you for you. I will eat this food. Maybe it's a time I need to go. Maybe you can tell your friend, the Geshe Tsapava, never ever do again like this. Then he eat, and certainly, and this lady says, sorry, Rinpoche, as a problem, I select this truth is poison. Said, she couldn't stop. Jetsen Malaripa ate it. And then he's bringing back this turqua, and she was so upset and cry and say, why you give? this Gimpe, no problem, don't worry. He don't take away the turkey. Okay, nice. And now he's become sick. And then then he heard Milarepa a little bit sick, and he went to this very like kind of artificial way, bring kada and to say, oh, Jetson, are you sick? And then Jetson Milarepa's laughing, of course I'm not sick or not, you know very well. No, I don't know. So, okay, it's like what you give me poisons. If you receive, it's unbearable sufferings. But this is not, you never do. And he said, I didn't give you poison. But yes, you give me very strong poisons. And then he's like kind of the mocking, like kind of the intent. Okay, if you have realizations, can you like transform to me these poisons? Okay, I don't want to transform everything, but it's a single, my finger pain I can give you. And in like kind of the transform to him, he's like turning around and unbearable pain, and he said, please take back quickly. And then he bring back and he said, Gehi Tsakpava, never ever do again like this. And then he's regret. He says, sorry, but it's no problem. I can to drink or not. This need to cost. I need to live from this world. And like this, then it's according that Milarepa is like kind of the passed away. This is like kind of the big corruption so externally. Even the Geshe Tsakpava like this. And of course, this kind of happened, and we need to practice antidote for the jealousies. A mind turning with jealousy cannot see anything good in the others. Being unable to see anything good in them, it cannot give rising to even the faintest glimmer of the faith. There's nothing kind of the developed any like kind of the faith or nothing. Even the Buddhas appears 100% you are corrupted with the jealousies. There's no kind of faith. Without faith, one can receive neither is the compassion or the blessings from the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Because if you have such a kind of the jealousies and like a kind of the how is like receive the blessing and the like kind of the compassion's blessings, like Devadatta and the Sunashutaras, there are the Buddha's cousin. Both were tormented by the jealousy to the Buddha and refused to have the slightest faith in him, Buddhas. Although they spent their entire life in this company with Buddha, he could not transform their mind at all, because it's like their mind is corrupted by the jealousy. All the time it's like bliss cannot enter into their minds. Moreover, even then, evil thoughts about the other do not materialize as the actually physically harms it. And also it's like a kind of this truth, Shuna and this Devadatta. And like kind of the corrupted their mind is jealousies, verb, physical, and mentally that kind of the attack to the Buddha. And very much this kind of the corruption is, it's Devadatta, how he died it. Because it's like once this Buddha is passing by, he want to kill the Buddha. He like kind of the holding on the mountain huge rock and like sending to the Buddha's like head, and he want to kill. He sent this rock rolling through the mountain. Of course, rock doesn't hit over the Buddha's head and run other way. Certainly he was very much shocked and distracted, and he fell down this mountain and rolled, and up he reached in the below near the Buddha, and certainly there's like Buddha. So, oh, what happened, Devadatta? He's bloody everywhere, and then he died. And that moment, Buddha, could you help me? I'm very sorry, but of course it's difficult to help. And like this kind of like a physically kind of harm, they still created prodigious negative affected for the person who has the thought and this kind of jealousy. There were once two famous geshe, to where is the rivalry say. Another history of the two geshes. They have a lot of kind of the challenge each other. One day, one of them learned that the other had his mistress. Mistress means it's like the lost, like a vows. The geshe told to his servant, says, prepare some good milk tea. Why? Because I have some interesting news. Then it's like suspended is okay, weird. The servant made this very nice milk tea, put chili, alcohol, mushroom, and some nyoa and joa, and they serve this tea. And then says that when you had served, like the two servers, when he had served it, then he asked, and what you say is the news? Then and they says like replied the geshe that our Rabbi has the mistress. Now it's like he cannot stay in the monastery. He need to go away. We are winner kind of. This is corruption of the jealousy. When it's like the compound, like a tarjal, compound tarjal. This is also a T, is a D maybe better. Compound tarjal is heard that. Then he was very sad, these things. Like kind of mistress at geshe is okay, mistress. But it's like that, not much negative effect. This corruption jealous geshe is such a negative. Heard this tell, it is said that the face duck, and he asked which of the two geshes committed the worst is action. This like kind of news heard. The drawer of the milk teeth constantly dwell on such a feeling as jealousy and competitiveness, neither further one's own cause or the harms that of the one's rivals. It lead to a pointless accumulation of the negativities, then of course direct to in the hell. Give up will attitude of this kind of all wiser, sincerely rejoice in the achievement and favorable circumstances of the others. Do not corrupt it for your mind by the jealousies. Give up this kind of the evil kind of the attitude of the jealousies. All the time is to rejoice, compassion, kindness to the others. When you see the achievement, favorite someone's circumstances arrived for the others. Whether it be there are the social position, like kind of the any kind of the social, physically, verbally, mentally, or physically, wealth and learning, or the whatever else, like study, realization, position, anything is like they received. We should to rejoice. Think over and over, again and again, how truly glad you are that they are the such excellent people. You are powerful and like kind of glorious, successful. You may more and become the successful. This kind of, you are practice antidote of jealousy, sympathetic rituals, you become the successful. And fortunate think how wonderful it would be if they have become the even better of them they are now. And acquired all the strength, wealth, learning, and good qualities that they could be possible ever get. Like kind of the meditate on the from the depth of your heart. It is very important. That is the meditation on the sympathetic joy. Okay, maybe we can to stop. Yes, 50 minutes. Then it's the questions. Okay.